Hey everyone, welcome back to the homestead. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Nadine. We live in Southwest Pennsylvania on 2/3 of an acre, and we just do the best that we can with what we have to grow our own food, raise our own animals, and be as self-sustaining as possible with what we have. And this was just an update video. I haven't been on here for a while, and I wanted to give an update on kind of the state of our homestead and some things that have been going on, and just kind of get you guys up to date on everything that's happening here on our homestead. This isn't going to be the update that I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be kind of upbeat and fun and enlightening on the things that have been going on here, but unfortunately, that's just not the feel of things right now. So today is Saturday, April 13th. On Thursday, April 11th, we had the worst flood that we have ever had in the almost 9 years that we've been here. And things are a mess. I am so thankful though. God is good. We've had no loss of life, just loss of stuff. And honestly, that's probably the best outcome possible. But this is the state of our homestead right now, so I'm just gonna show you how it is, raw and real, and kind of our next steps in the process of getting things cleaned up. So here she is, guys. So most of you are probably familiar. This is my back door. This is the porch that I'm standing on, and the water was here. It's my back porch. Yeah. So the water was all the way up to this step here. And as you can see, we've got all of the mud and debris. All of the wood chips are gone. We've got a fence panel from our fence over there. I'm just gonna give you guys a walkthrough just to, water was up to here, was up to there. This is our bedroom. That's the floor of our bedroom. And God is so good. We didn't have a drop of water go into our bedroom. It stayed dry. So I'm thanking the Lord for that today. The flood waters were through here. You can see where it was. It lifted our pond up and out. Thankfully, we were able to save it. The pond liners sitting back there. Oh, and we have pigs, guys. Not exactly the intro that I wanted to give, but hey, they're here now. These are our bacon seeds. They're going to be processed for our freezer later, I do believe February. So there's them. Yeah, all of my wood chips, and this was a walkway where our trash cans sat, but that's all gone. It's just wood chips are everywhere. I put wood chips all around to help with mud, and I put a wood chip garden bed around where the pigs are. But all of the wood chips have since washed away. Some of the plants remain, but that's just a mess. These guys were completely flooded. We ended up moving these guys to the chicken run when it was all flooded, because the chicken run is a little bit higher and it wasn't flooded yet. And so we moved them over there in the hopes of, keeping them dry. But they ended up escaping all night, which was fun, chasing pigs all around. By the time we got them in, the floodwaters were starting to recede a little bit, and they had some dry-ish, not underwater at least, space closer to the chicken run there. But they're all fat and happy eating breakfast. I just started putting in this hydrangea garden. I just had it all wood chipped and ready to go, but it's gonna need wood chips again and all of this cleaned up. My husband's starting to work on getting stuff out of the basement because the water was, There's the water. It's just gushing in through the basement door there. Kind of not sure what to say about all of this, except it's just a mess. We've got a lot of cleaning up to do. Like I said, we've had no loss of life. Most of the plants have, I'm surprised that they're all still here. Like I said, God is good. It could have been so much worse than it was. We've lost some soil in some of the garden beds, but nothing we can't replace. The last bad flood that we had here was about 2 years ago, and it wasn't nearly this bad. It literally just touched the first row of garden beds in my garden and kind of sort of went into like the beginnings of the garage here. But this year, the entrance to my garden, all of the beds were underwater. Thankfully, the soil stayed put. We didn't lose too much. The water went all the way back to the back fence. Thankfully, by this point, it was pretty shallow, but you can see all the debris that's just backed up into this corner, and the trash. All the debris along the back fence here. It's mostly just my wood chips from the garden, thankfully. You can just rake those back out. I was starting to put some pavers down. Well, I was starting to dig it out to put pavers down so that I can open and close the door to my greenhouse better, and eventually pave the greenhouse. But as you can see, there was water all in here. This is all flooded out. Was starting to get seeds going. Jeez. Yeah, it was all, you can see all the soot and silt from the water just everywhere in here. It wasn't too deep though. There's how deep it was at the back of the garden here. So not too bad, but still enough water to cause issues. So I'm really thankful that the garden stayed in place. All of the soil is still intact. A little squished down and eroded in some areas, but overall, like, everything survived back here in the garden. I've got onion sprouts coming up, potato sprouts that I planted, all of the blueberries and raspberries. Oh, excuse that wind, guys. It's really windy today. These are all the blueberries here. They're all doing well. Earlier this spring, I was able to clean up the raspberries and get them trellised, so they're all tied up here. I'll go over that a little bit more in detail later on. But we've got some debris in here. The water in here, like down this way, was here. And it just kept getting deeper as you went. Our fence line has been pushed in from the current and all of the debris being pushed up against it. All of this was literally underwater. The water's definitely gone down. It's definitely receding. As you can see, all the debris and garbage. Most of the debris in the garden here is wood chips. That'll just need raked back out. But we got some of my tarps that got washed off, and wood, more wood, tires. All of our vehicles are fine. We were able to move them to higher ground before the waters got too high. God just really protected everything there. We lost some of the stuff that we had stored along the fence here, but again, it's just a loss of stuff. This panel here came off with the current. It's back behind our friend's truck underneath the, here, I'll just show you the fence panel. It's wedged underneath the truck frames my husband's been working on. The waters were so strong that it actually lifted our pool. Our pool was, well, you can kind of see the ring of grass where it was and how far it got shifted over into the fence, and then more of the debris that'll need cleaned up. Again, with more of the just debris and things getting washed away. Here's our front. Wood chips washed away. Thankfully, we didn't lose our septic tank caps. The tractor's full of debris. The water was so high. A lot of our front beds were eroded. You can see where the water level was. The front steps are no longer attached to the house. This side of the, excuse me, bud. This side of the porch is all blown out. Creek's being calm now. That's the creek across the road. You can't even see it now. I think the worst of it is just the damage to our fence here. It's hard to tell with all the grasses, but it was pushed in. I don't even, it's so deep water still. But come in here. Here's our fence. Hopefully we can repair it instead of having to buy new, but we shall see as we get things cleaned up. We do have flood insurance. We do have a guy coming out on Tuesday to assess all of the damages and get our insurance claim underway, because there's quite a bit that needs cleaned up and fixing. I'll show you the garage next here, because it was completely underwater. Like I said, the last flood that we got wasn't nearly this bad. Last time, the highest point was the top of the cinder blocks. This time it was on top of the batteries. And you can see where the water line was. So everything in here was, anything on the ground was underwater, and there was just no time to get any of it out or up. We had bought an all new kitchen cabinets to do a kitchen renovation. I was hoping to surprise you guys with, but they were all underwater. Generators underwater. Thankfully my husband was able to get his Ranger motor up so it didn't get water in it, so that's good. On this side, and again, see where the water level was. It's up to my knees in the garage.
At least Daddy's toes were above it.
Mm-hmm. And here is all underwater as well.
Watch out for the tree.
All the way back.
And Daddy's Gigantosaurus disappeared.
So that's kind of the front and side of the house. The feed room got flooded. I should probably have this propped open today and let it air dry a little bit. All the doors and stuff are swollen. Thankfully, all of our feed was in bins that stayed dry. They did float a little bit, but I'm more concerned about my hay on the bottom. I'm gonna have to get that out before it molds. So that means emptying all of this out. This feed bag and that one are wet at the bottom. But again, nothing that can't be replaced. Nothing that can't get fixed. Our mower shed. Also, all the mowers were underwater. This one he was able to get started. The other ones he hasn't been able to get started. They're just too waterlogged. But that one's okay, so that's good. Blowers were all underwater. And then just proceeded to get more shallow back here. Most of it just gets, the damage is just debris and things getting washed away. And the rabbit tree is just got debris in it. The hay thing floated off to the side there a little bit. And everything's just saturated. But all the bunnies are good. We actually have some babies in here. Hi, Miss Marshmallow. Hi, Miss Marshy. Here, let me show you some cute babies. Oh, come here. Look at these sweet guys. Yeah. She's doing such a good time as a first-time mama. I'm so thankful that all of the animals are okay. And that we're all okay. Everybody's safe. It's just, it's a mess. It's a lot. The water didn't reach back to the chicken coop, so all of the chickens were good. All of our meat chicks are okay. As far as I know, I haven't counted them. There should be 12. So we're doing a new batch of meat chickens this year for you guys, and hopefully we can walk you through some butchering and processing videos. Hi, Ziza. Turkeys are laying eggs, chickens are laying eggs. It's almost like it never happened. But that's the state of our homestead. I had just gotten my farm stand up and out front. I had to bring it back because it was floating away. I just wrote, show you guys a little bit better. I just wrote farm stand down the side of it. I found this cute fresh egg sign, just a dry erase board and a money box. But I'm hoping that does well and sells some eggs and produce for my community, and I don't know, maybe some baked goods later on. But so yeah, that's kind of the state of our homestead right now. I don't really have any projects on the list of things to do at the moment. Right now it's just getting everything back in order, and get things back to the way they need to be to function properly. So yeah, I'll just keep you guys posted as the year goes by on what projects I'll be tackling. Right now the biggest thing is getting our house in order. Our basement was a foot off of the main floor with water. So it didn't touch the main floor, but it was close, and our breaker box was completely underwater. Same with our furnace and our water heater, which aren't working. So my husband's working on getting a new water heater installed right now so that we can all get a shower, because we haven't done that since Thursday morning. And then yeah, we're just gonna wait and see what insurance has to say, and then start getting things repaired as our claim gets filed and whatnot. But for right now, my main focus is just getting things cleaned up. Once I get the house kind of back in order, the basement cleaned out, I'm going to start getting some seeds going and hopefully have a little bit of a garden this year, but we'll see as time goes on. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I love hearing from you guys, and I do hope that the following videos are more upbeat and lighthearted, and a little bit more positive. But I want to show you guys the truth and what's really going on around our homestead. I feel like social media hides so much of what's really going on, but this is what we're dealing with right now. This is the state of our homestead, and we're just going to work on little by little getting her cleaned up and back to normal. So Alrighty guys, thank you so much for watching, and remember to grow where you're planted.